Hello everybody, I'm Scott Zambelli,
And I'm Jill Webler from Keller Williams Lakeside.
and today we want to talk about inspections, but more specifically about sewer line inspections, because not many customers know about those particular types of inspections.
So I'm going to play the role of the customer. I'm going to ask some questions about a sewer line inspection. So Scott, what exactly is a sewer line inspection?
I'm glad you asked. Well, a general inspection goes through the whole house, and it tells you the condition of everything in the house, but it's just talking about the things you see. A sewer line inspection is when a specialized inspector shows up. They have this small camera on a long cord, and they actually go right into your sewer line. It's usually, if you have a basement, it's in the basement. You usually see a cap with a square bolt on the top of it. They take that off, and that's your main sewer line for the house. And that's where every time you flush or do anything else, that's the line that takes it from the house out into the sewer.
Okay, I have seen that in my basement. So why would I need to get a sewer line inspection?
Good question. The reason is because every time you flush that toilet, stuff goes through there. And over time, you get buildup, you get junk. But also, you could have potential cracks and leaks in that line. And one of the main culprits, tree roots. When you live in an older home especially, and there's large mature trees on that property, well, those large mature trees have a very strong and robust root system that extends outward.
All right. Well, what could happen if I said, I don't want to get this inspection done? What potential problems could come up if I just decided not to do this?
Well, what happens there is you're taking a gamble, and it's all about risk. And when you choose not to have one, you're taking a gamble. You don't know, you don't live in this house, so you don't know the condition of things. You don't know if there's been problems with whether it's septic tank or air conditioner, whatever. That's why you get an inspection done. That's your introduction to your home, and you learn all the ins and outs of it. And with the sewer line, you don't know if there's clogs down there that could potentially back up. You don't know if there's tree roots that are coming through the pipeline and causing blockages. And what could happen is, nothing. It could be you're fine, but you're risking it because it's a very small fee. It's only about $150 or so. It's under $200. It varies from inspector to inspector, so you'd have to call around. But for a small fee, you find out what the health of your sewer line is.
Okay. Now, have you personally ran into any issues? Is this really, truly an issue for customers?
It really, truly is. From personal experience from a past client I had who unfortunately chose not to get it done because they wanted to save the $100 or $200 on an inspection. What happened was, about a month after they moved into the house, they found out there were tree roots coming through the pipes. And what happened is those trees, it's just like an artery in your heart where, you need blood to flow through there, and over time you could get blockages. You could have stuff block it, and once that block happens, nothing flows through. And with the house, when you flush that toilet, guess what? If it's blocked, it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It comes back up through your drain in your basement floor, and unfortunately then you have raw sewage coming into your house.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah, so a couple things happens at that point. You have to clean up the mess. B, whatever is on the floor, depending how deep it goes, gets saturated.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, and you end up losing that.
Yeah.
And C, you now have to pay a company to come out and find where the leak is or the block is. They need to, in that particular case, they actually had to hire a company with a backhoe to come out, dig a trench, pull out all the old pipes and put new PVC piping in. And it costed thousands of dollars. So because they wanted to save $100 or $200, they ended up costing thousands.
Yeah.
Not to mention just the stress involved with all that. So, it's a minimum amount of money when you're talking about a house, which is your largest investment you will probably make in your lifetime.
Right. All right. Well, you've got me convinced that I need to do this. What exactly is the process now?
Okay, so the process is simple. When you get your offer accepted, you work with your agent to, whether you have your own inspector or if you have an inspection company recommended, you ask your realtor to recommend a company. You go through them. The company we use has the specialized inspectors on staff, so they can schedule it right then and there. And it falls under your protection period of your home inspection. So, you know, in a recent case we had 7 days to have the inspection done and decide if there was anything needed. And in our recent customer, as you know,
Yes.
that we just had, we did the inspection and we found there were tree roots.
We did.
Yeah, we did, and it didn't. It turned out it didn't fully block it, but there is a blockage there, and so because we were in our protection period still, we were able to go back to the seller and renegotiate, and we came up to a mutually beneficial agreement that both parties were happy with to move the deal forward.
Right.
Now, moving forward, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to hire a company to come out, they have a special drill tool that goes down there. But I do want to show you some pictures real quick from one of the inspections that we've had, where you can see the process. So I'm going to put up on the screen here. There are 4 different pictures. First, what you see is the opening of the drain. The bolt is taken off, and this is where the camera goes down. Then as we get down a little bit, in the lower left corner, you're going to see the distance marker. That's how far down the pipe the camera is. And here you just see the inside of the pipe. It's very dirty, very nasty, but that's, you know, it's your sewer pipe is what it is. We're going to move a little farther down. Here you see water. Now, we're roughly at the 11, 12 foot mark here. This is how far from the house. Because of these tree roots, the water was backing up all the way to, eventually the blockage you'll see is at 26 feet, but the water is backing up to the 11 or 12 foot mark. So that's quite a bit of backup. We're moving a little farther. Here you see we're actually going underwater, and you know, but there's still light from the camera, so you can actually see the water around the lens. And a little bit farther here is where it turns all black, and this is because this is the actual sewage is backing up here, and it's so thick, it was like a black tar. It's so thick the light couldn't even penetrate it. So, and then it eventually gets stuck at the 26 foot mark. When we went outside, we found there was a tree 26 feet out in the backyard, and right in the same spot. So because the sewage was so thick, we couldn't actually see the tree roots, but you know, 1 + 1 = 2, and it was easy to figure out that that's what the problem was. So there you have it.
So in this case, that inspection was very beneficial for the customer. They were thankful that they went through with that.
Yeah, because this is a problem. If they didn't do this, they wouldn't even know that it had to be fixed.
Exactly. So, all right. So one more question.
Yeah.
You know, for those where we're happy with our home, we're not looking to move to a new home. Is this an issue we need to be aware of?
Well, good question. The answer is, you know, with these, everything comes down to risk and assessment, and is it worth the money? Now, if you live in a brand new home where it's young trees and you have fresh new PVC pipe, chances are slim something's going to happen. But if you've lived in a house for a long time, you can hire an inspector to come out. You don't have to be selling your home to hire an inspection to be done, just so you know the health of your own home. And then if everything is fine with your home, even if you're in a new home, you can actually hire a licensed plumber to come out and clean out your sewer line. They have water jets they'll put down there, and so you can do an annual or every 2 or 3 years, up to you what you want to do. But you could actually have, you know, it's almost like an enema for your house. You know, they go in and they power wash it out. But the nice thing about that is, you know, your sewer line is clean, because if that backs up, you know, and one of the big culprits, flushable wipes. A lot of people use those today, and they're really not meant to be flushed, even though they call them flushable. So that's definitely something we recommend stay away from.
And then low flow toilets are an issue too.
Yes,
right?
Low flow toilets. You know, a lot of people want to save the environment by using less water. However, the problem you get into is when you use the minimum amount of water needed to flush your waste out of your toilet, the problem is it's enough water to get out of the toilet, but that water still has to go 50 feet.
Right.
It has, all your waste has to go 50 feet or more, depending on your house, or less. I mean, it depends on the house. But let's say 20 to 100 feet. That waste has to move from your toilet, underground, all the way out to the main sewer line. And when you're using the bare minimum amount of water, what's happening is that waste is only getting about halfway. And then the next time you flush, it moves a little more. And next flush, it moves a little more. So really, it's, you know, unfortunately, these low flow toilets are actually causing a greater reason for you to go and hire those plumbers to power wash out your sewer line to make sure nothing's clogging it up.
Right. Well, these have been some great tips that Scott gave us regarding the purchase of a new home. what to look for with your inspections. We would be more than happy to help you if you have any questions regarding that. But also, if you have any real estate needs, please give us a call. I can be reached at 586-277-2145.
And I can be reached at 586-549-6096. And calling either of us, you get both of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, I hope this video was informative for you, helpful, and hopefully you guys all have a good rest of the day.
Take care, guys.
Bye.